Hello, beautiful people. I have been hearing a lot about that high-pitched sound in the ears. It's an ascension symptom, and today, by the end of this video, you're going to know what it is, why it's happening, and you're going to know how it is really starting to awaken some major capacities for you. So let's dive in. Thank you for being here. My name is Rebecca. This is my channel. This is one of my conscious life hack videos. I also have light language and sound healing and inspired songs, all to help us remember our greatness together. We are on this great awakening journey together. So let's dive in about this odd ascension symptom, this high pitch sound in the ears. Now, some people may have kind of a straight line like ee, or it may sound kind of interrupted like dashes and dots and longer lines like ee. Let me know in the comments what's happening for you. Mine usually is kind of like Morse code. It's like dashes and dots. So this is an ascension symptom. This is what happens when the body is in this kind of wobbly adjustment period to higher frequencies. What's happening is a lot of frequencies right now from universes, from the ether, from source, from whatever you call it, there are higher frequencies kind of coming to planet Earth. Help us wake up a bit. And these bodies have to wake up too. So there's a difference. We are not our bodies. There's a difference between our infinite beingness and these infinite bodies. It's kind of like we're having like a parasitic communion of relationship. So it's really important to ask our bodies like, hey, what's up? You know, what could contribute to you today? What would you like to do? What would you like to wear? What would you like to listen to? What do you require right now? Our bodies are dense. They're part of, 3D life. And our beingness, our source nature is a different frequency and a whole different makeup. So here we are in our bodies communing together. And as our frequency starts to quicken and our vibration rises in our source nature, as we take in more of our source nature into these bodies, our bodies have to adapt. And they have to start like rearranging molecules and saying, oh yeah, and just like sloughing off density. This is how I see it anyway, like just spewing density from the body. Right? So all that tension, all those old beliefs and emotions and programming, all that stuff, it's gotta go as we start raising our frequency and bringing more of our source selves into here, more of that freedom nature into here. So the body is doing its amazing job adjusting to this. And this is what I feel like I'm here to practice and do, is to be the ascension energies within a body. Let me know, do you feel like that is kind of what you're here doing too? So a lot of weird stuff is going to happen as we go about this. And one of them is this high pitch ringing or sound. Now, it's interesting, this high-pitched sound is, if you close your ears, you'll still be able to hear it. That's how you know it's not like a high-pitched electrical sound, right? And the other thing is, it can be distracting. Some days it can be louder than others. What I have noticed is that when the Schumann resonance, that frequency that happens between the earth and its and the atmosphere, between the earth and the rest of space, in the atmosphere is this frequency that's happening. And that frequency, when that frequency is really vibrating high, it has a very high frequency, the high-pitched sound increases for me. I wonder if that's true for you. Also, when there is kind of like the Lionsgate portal or a certain astrological like portal that opens for higher frequencies to come to the planet, they my ears really start to wake up as well with that sound. Now, some people say that, oh, this is your clara audio sensations and capacities opening up. Now, the claras, what was it? The clara cognizant, the clara audio, the clara sentient, and the clara, I'm missing one. Anyway, all the claras, all how our intuition works. My take is that they work in the astral realm, and we break them up into all little pieces so that we can understand how all our capacities are starting to evolve. Now, perhaps the clear audio is becoming more fine-tuned and you're going to be aware of more of the astral field. But it's been my experience lately that this goes beyond clear audio. This is part of knowing. This is part of our telepathic nature. This is part of all of the claras put into just one aspect of just knowingness. Because a lot of times if we're like, oh, my clara audio is increasing, what am I hearing? We get too linear about it. We think we're hearing with our ears. It's clearing this out. And I feel like once we connect all the claras that help us kind of begin to open up to our extra sensing, when we click all those together, it's almost like the Infinity Stones in the Avengers. Yes, I have some boys here in my house. But the Infinity Stones, they all click together for him to activate the bigger capacity, right? That's what I feel like the claras are. Once we click them all together, then we have the bigger capacity. And this bigger capacity is not just hearing, it's just this ultimate knowingness where you can play in the astral realm with entities and stuff. I've noticed with myself that I don't really play there anymore. I was very active in that realm for a long time, and now I'm not. And anyway, so I don't know if that's a choice from my source self or if that's just the frequencies just aren't a match anymore, but there is something else happening. There's a oneness happening. So I don't sense my father, who's passed 5 years ago, as an entity anymore. I sense him as a oneness or an allness. Yet I can still speak to him, and we have kind of like a telepathic type of communication where I can ask and communicate with him, yet it's I just have this knowing of what the response is. It's very interesting. It's not hearing, it's not sensing, it's telepathy, I think. So this deep ringing in your ears, hang on. I know it can be a little frustrating, especially trying to sleep, but it is opening you up to some capacities that we've only really heard of and we've never really thought was going to happen to us. It's happening. You are telepathic, you are all-knowing, and it's coming in, and if you trust it and you start using it, you will find that it starts to build on itself. Now, this type of knowing, we're used to the claras processing through our thinking mind. This doesn't happen with what's happening with the capacity that's evolving right now. We won't be processing it through the thinking mind, meaning like, oh, I'm hearing this, that means, right? Oh, I'm seeing this, that energetic seeing, it must mean this. this goes beyond that. It kind of comes as a knowing, or just, it's not even, it's beyond guidance. It is just, you just go. And so I've been practicing it with my drawings. Let me go grab them here. I've been doing these little spiral drawings, right? Here they all are. And some of them are so easeful and in such flow. I just know what colors to do. I just know what shape to do. And there's just this sense of knowingness with this piece of art. When I go into more conceptual stuff, say I just got done like a sunflower type of design. God, I worked that thing to death. I was trying to be in the flow, but I was more in my head around it. And it brought up a lot of like things to process around vanity and expectations. And you can really see it. I really worked it. Yet I just started one recently where I just drew a design. I didn't try to draw a concept. I just drew it. And then my son said, "Oh, Mom, it looks like a whale." So I was like, "Oh." So I just had fun kind of putting some designs on it. And I was like, "Oh, I think it's going to be a whale." And then I just started, drawing the spirals in it. So I draw with spirals. And it has been such a fluid knowing process. So my art lately is really showing me the capacities that are available. There is the thinking and processing through the thinking mind and through intuition, or there is this growing capacity of just knowingness and telepathy, which doesn't get processed through the thinking mind. And it's pretty cool. And this is where I think the ringing in the ears is helping us get to. It's not like if you don't have ringing in the ears, you're not going to get there. The ringing in the ears is an indicator that there's some higher frequencies that you are expanding to. Your body is growing to, is adapting to. I don't know. So if that makes any sense. Does this make sense? Let me know in the comments if this is making sense to you. So what's happening, guys, is the 4 claras are the beginning stages that get you to this next stage of just knowingness and telepathy, and gets us out of the lower 40, higher 40 corridor of working with the astral plane and getting us up into the higher dimensions. Now, the dimensions are kind of all flowing at the same time. We live them fluidly, okay? But as we raise our vibration, where we are on the spectrum, is a little higher, okay? So, some of us are 3 and 4. We're just flowing between 3 and 4. And some of us are in high 3, 4 to low 5. And some of us are just in 4 and 5 and 6, or just in 4 and 5, or some of us are in 5, 6, and 7. And some of us during different practices can go from a high 3 and jump into the 13th, 14th, 15th dimension. But it takes a lot of processing and releasing, and a lot of letting go of karma and egoic tendencies. And it takes a lot of detachment to really sustain a frequency of those higher dimensions. So we can definitely go play in them and reach them for a moment, but then to really sustain higher frequencies in this body, takes a lot of releasing, detoxing, detaching. And a lot of us honestly aren't willing to do that, because we're like, life is fun. I want my memories. I want to have fun in relationships and families, and sometimes the drama's fun. So as we go to higher dimensions, like the drama releases, the lower 3D way of being is obsolete. Okay, so it doesn't work with certain dimensions. Some of us are here just to really dig our feet into 3D and be like, woo, this is this is edgy and fun. And some of us are here to really see where we can go with the highest dimensions in a body. And so our lives are going to be a little different. So, and it's your choice. It's your choice. But if you're getting this ringing in the ears, most likely you're choosing to play in higher dimensions in a body, or you are getting ready to just play in higher dimensions and perhaps, you know, eventually let go of the body. We all will. We all will let go of the body, right? So while I'm here and while my body chooses and I choose to be in this body, for me, I'm going to take these high frequencies and commune with my body and see how we can do this together. I really feel this is kind of like the evolution of humanity and a possibility on the earth with the Great Awakening happening. There is a lot being said about artificial intelligence and, you know, AI taking over Earth. And that's one timeline. And I feel personally that I won't be living on that timeline. I will be living in this great awakening, bringing source and freedom energy into the body. And what if all of that can be happening at the same time, simultaneously on planet Earth? So this is where we get to make our own choices around this and tune into what our source self is telling us, what kind of freedom frequency we can bring into our bodies, and what is that igniting and guiding us to. And the way I see this, that it's all that guidance is you. So, and that's part of us that we're growing in here. So, all right, beautiful people. So I promised by the end of this video, you would know what the ear ringing is, and you would know something to do about it, and what capacities it's opened up for you. So I believe I've answered most of those questions, but I do want to answer one more question around, like, how do I deal with this sound? How do I live with this? Detachment, allowance. And when you're sleeping, I really recommend like a sound machine, like something that sounds like a wave or just like, you know, white noise, because that really helps. Because I do notice it seems to, I can become more aware of it at night. So definitely a sound machine helps. And during the day, you know, just your busyness and your doingness of the day seems to let go of the focus of it. But if it's not and it's really getting to you, see if you can accept the energy that's coming through you. And see if you can expand it out, and see if you can expand your body out around it, around the new energy. Okay, and this expansion will be a type of receiving the energy. Okay, so as you expand around that new energy, there may be less resistance and maybe less sound. That's just something that came through. So give that a try. So beautiful, people. I hope this was helpful. It's really helpful for me to do these videos and talk this stuff out, because it gives me insight to what I'm going through too. So we're remembering our greatness together. Thanks for being part of the tribe and watching this video. Now, beautiful people, if you want to cultivate this knowingness, I have a really fun program called 30 Days to Sing Yourself Free over on my website. And it's 30 days of practice with yoga and voice and meditation and stillness. That these techniques have helped me so much, just, you know, get rid of the dense residue and just open up my voice and my frequency to what's next. So if that's interesting to you, head on over to RebeccaAbraxas.com/store and you'll see 30 Days to Sing Yourself Free. See you later. Namaste.